Hi, I'm Bill Snyder, Sports Information Director at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, and welcome to Bulldog Blitz. This is the Centennial Homecoming edition of Bulldog Blitz. That's why I've donned the throwback jersey. This is from the 1971 National Championship team. We're here in the archives in Heidelberg Hall. Charles S. Sullivan, our archivist, let us come in, do the show from here. It's a perfect spot to do it as we head into homecoming. Head coach Steve Campbell with me. Homecoming this weekend against Coahoma. And, you know, when you come in here, you start figuring out what it's all about as far as homecoming and why it's so important. And, oh, yeah, we got a pretty big football game, too, against Coahoma.
We do. Coahoma is a very dangerous football team. Got a lot of speed on both sides of the football and a lot of size. So they're a very explosive, dangerous football team. And I've had a good week of practice, and we're ready to get after it.
And there you go. We're going to talk more about the Coahoma game coming up, but we're going to go back, take a look at last week's big win over Colin up in Wesson. And to do that, of course, Coach, we have to go back in the Bulldog Blitz time machine. Still using the old one. I'm just kind of comfortable with that, so we're going to roll with it right now till we get all the warranty and paperwork done on the new one. We'll get that ready for you in time for the playoffs. But right now, going to go back in time, check out the Colin game here on Bulldog Blitz.
Hi, I'm Ladd Taylor. As a former member of the Bulldog football team and today as Dean of Athletics at Gulf Coast, I invite you to join us for our Centennial Homecoming on October the 22nd. We will recognize all former Gulf Coast athletes, majorettes, band members, perkettes, cheerleaders, and homecoming court members at a reunion on the Perkinson campus and during the football game. You can register for homecoming activities at www.mgccc.edu. Come have lunch with us under the oaks. Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, celebrating 100 years of excellence.
He hands Davis left side, has no room. He's hammered at the 20, there to hammer him down as Mario Gaynor leading the charge. Coming in motion is Bell. Hatton takes the snap, looks right. He's got Bell on the screen. Bell's got the first down and more. He's got room to the 45, 30, 20, cuts it back, and Javon Bell is gone. Touchdown Bulldogs, 65 yards on the screen pass.
He won't catch him. When he made the step at the 40-yard line, when he crossed midfield and got to the 40, there was nobody going to catch him. That is deep safety, one-on-one trying to run him down, but as you can see on the replay, he's just not going to catch up to that speed there.
The give now on the sweep, Hobbs, and he's taken down in the backfield. Mario Gaynor saw that one coming right off the bat. He stops Hobbs before he can get something going. It's going to be 3rd and long. Now, 3rd and 5. On the option, they pitch to Gillum. Gillum across the 40, across the 50. He's got a block and he's gone. He gets it. See you later. Explosive play by James Gillum. Touchdown Bulldogs. They'll go up 13-0. And that's the first long run we've seen from Gillum this year. And it was pretty right down the sidelines.
Brady Boggs gave him the only block he needed after he got into the secondary. And he goes down the sideline. As you said, you keep feeding him the ball. You keep feeding him the ball. Good things are going to happen. And that's what Coach Campbell done.
Rogers takes a snap and hit the center. Ball's kicked around. It's scooped up, I believe, by the Bulldogs, and they do have it. Wade Wells, Johnny on the spot, jumps on the ball. The man we profiled last night on Bulldog Blitz comes up with the recovery. Snap is down. Kick is on the way, and it is good. Taylor Pontius made 3 field goals last week. He makes one there. That one from 35 yards out. Looks right, and that pass is picked off by Alonzo Lawrence. This could go the distance. Alonzo, the 25 to the 20. He is gone. Touchdown Bulldogs. That's a 55-yard touchdown return. Another turnover. Alonzo takes it to the house, and it's 23-0. comes up the middle and keeps it. Look at this. Chandler Rogers faked out everybody, and Chandler Rogers is going to be tackled just inside the 10. Gives to Hobbs, and Hobbs is tripped up, but they give him the touchdown anyway. So going in for the touchdown that time for Colin is Danny Hobbs. Hatton going over the middle, and that pass is caught at the 20. Making the catch, Javante Thomas. He goes up and gets it, and now the Bulldogs are just about in the red zone. Hatton takes the snap. He's looking left. Finds Thomas just inside the 2. They give it to big Reggie Matthews. He bulls his way in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. They capitalize just before halftime.
The Bulldogs have clicked on all cylinders. Good blocking.
1st and 10 from the 15, up the middle of Smith. He kicks it outside. Smith to the 10, still on his feet, inside the 5 and down to the 4-yard lines. Hatton one-on-one with Bell, and the pass is caught and dropped. Looked like Bell had a touchdown, but he couldn't hang on, and that's going to give the ball back to Colin. Rogers low snap. He gets it to Joel Davis. Davis is grabbed at the goal line. The ball pops out right into the hands of Talvis Henderson, but they're calling it down, and he's popped. That's very, very, very close. Now, I think that was a bad snap. The ball was down, and did the Bulldogs recover? Yeah, that is a fumble. And Gulf Coast has it deep inside Colin territory. Snap is down, kick is up, plenty of distance, and right down the middle. Rogers back to pass, going deep, and that one is caught over the middle. That's Devante Scott, and he is going to take it to the house for the touchdown.
So, Coach, we go on the road and get the 34-14 victory, and, the key there was a strong start, a 31-point first half, and you don't like to coast in, but that's kind of what we did, but we haven't had a game like that this year. It was almost as if the guys really didn't know how to handle being up so big, but whatever the case, you get a big win on the road against a division rival.
It was a good win for us. You go on the road and play a team that was defending South State champions, and to go and to jump up on them the way we did in the first half was, a testament to the guys' hard work and effort and their commitment. We had talked about, getting a fast start because we really hadn't done that a whole lot this year. But the thing that I was pleased to see, you remember last week we talked about explosives or maybe lack thereof, which in the East Central game we had 10 explosives. In this game we had 8 explosives in the first half, which was huge. Alonzo had to pick. That he took back to the house. That was a big play. And then we threw the little bubble pass out to Javon. He made, I just used his speed and got down the sideline and scored. And we had some explosives. The one to Gillum down the sideline. Those are some things that we had said we were working really hard on, and it was good to see them, come to fruition and be able to put some points on the board and put somebody away early. So that was definitely a big key for us.
We went back and looked at the video. Their first touchdown, the guy's knee was down. Of course, this is splitting hairs, but, we were up in the – anyway, they gave him that one. And then at the end of the game, that looked like a safety or a touchdown. They didn't call it. So that game could easily been 41-7, but that's in the rearview mirror. But you see those kind of things, and at least on film, we know that – they were doing their job, and the defense seems to get better every week. They had really one good drive, and then they hit on a big play with some of our substitute guys in. So you see what they can do each week, coming up strong.
Yeah, the defense has played extremely well, and that's key. Championships are won with a great defense, and our defense is really playing well. Need to continue to play well, and they're doing a good job right now of tackling and keeping the ball in front and making the other team take the long haul. And whenever you can do that, you've got a chance to be successful. On offense, we talk about creating explosives. Well, you don't have to take the long haul when you score from 60 or 70. And it's the same on defense. If you can limit the explosives and make them take the long haul, you've got a chance to be successful. And defense has done a great job of doing that. We didn't finish the way that we would have liked to have finished, but anytime you can win and still have some things to correct, that's a plus. If you win and you've done everything exactly right, well, there's not a whole lot to work on the next week in practice. Well, we left ourselves some things that we need to improve at, and that's being able to finish in the red zone. One of the things I was most pleased with is 0 turnovers this past week for the first time this year. And as the weather starts getting cooler, the turnovers become more important because, this time of year you're going to be playing good football teams, and it's going to get down to turnovers, and we protected the football. And that was a big thing that we talked about at halftime was protect the football, and we'll have a chance to win the football game, and we did.
Yeah, that was huge. Now the turnover ratio, I believe, is back to 0, so we got 3 on them, so that's a nice thing. 34-14, we get that win and defeat Colin heading into this game, our homecoming matchup against Coahoma. Now, coming up after the break, we will have another player profile for you, one of the players who came up big in that game against Colin. We'll take a look at that. Heading into the break, our scores and standings from this week, courtesy of Western Sizzlin' in Wiggins. You're watching Bulldog Blitz here on WLOX.
Hello, Bulldog fans. I'm Don Massengale. As a former member of the Bulldog football team and currently a Jackson County Board of Trustees member, I invite you to join us for our Centennial Homecoming on October 22nd. We will recognize all former Gulf Coast athletes, majorettes, band members, perquettes, cheerleaders, and homecoming court members at a reunion under the oaks and during the football game. Register for homecoming activities at mgccc.edu. Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, celebrating 100 years of excellence. See you there.
And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz as we do our Centennial Homecoming edition here in the Archives exhibit in Heidelberg Hall on the Perkinston campus. Well, each week on Bulldog Blitz, as you know, we take a look at some of our sophomore Bulldogs who are doing a great job for the team. This week, we'll be on the offensive side of the ball and profile Trevante Thomas.
Thomas fakes the run, drops back, goes deep, looking for Javon Bell. Javon Bell takes it at the 40. It's a foot race. Nobody's going to catch him. 4th touchdown of the day for Javon Bell, and now one is an 80-yarder.
At first, it was like, okay, I wanted to ask some questions, see what was going on. I ain't going to say I was just thrilled about the situation, but it worked out for the best. I think that was the best move for me. I played quarterback since about 9 years old. I've never really had a quarterback coach, just me and my dad, but I played since I was younger. But everybody always told me I was going to play receiver, so when the switch wasn't easy, but at the same time I adapted to it pretty fast. This last game, I was probably the most comfortable I've been this season. Pearl River it made me step up my game because I knew they were a good team, and if we didn't win that game, I felt like, okay, the season was going to probably be over with. So it really made me step up and just make plays.
Now he's looking over the middle, wide open, Trevante Thomas. Thomas down to the 20, to the 10. He's cut down at the 4.
We're getting a lot better because at the beginning of the year, it seemed like the offense couldn't click together. Like we were still separated, but now we working on it and getting better every week. Every week we're getting better. So I really like what's going on. We're starting to throw the ball more. It's just a better offense.
And, Coach, we saw in the video Trevante made a couple of big plays on that 2-minute drill at the end of the half last week. And he talked about it, wasn't so happy about switching over from quarterback to wide receiver. But, boy, he's worked hard and made some big plays. And, from the outside looking in, that transition's almost been seamless. That is pretty impressive.
It is. Trevante's a great athlete. He's got real good ball skills. You see those plays at the end of the half. He got great hands, great concentration to be able to make those plays. And that's what you've got to do is make plays that somebody else can't make, and Trevante's been able to do that. when we made the transition moved him to wide receiver, he really shored that position up, gave us some athletic ability out there, gave us a little experience. Travante's got good size, extremely hardworking young man, great character. He's what you want at wide receiver to really complement that receiver position and give us some weapons out there. That was big to be able to score right before the half. Travante made 2 big catches and was able to put us in the end zone, right before the half, which gave us some momentum and kind of put them away. So it's been a real good move for Travante. I think he's got all the ability in the world at wide receiver, and this will give him a chance to help our football team, which he has done all year, and this will give him a chance to be very successful once he leaves here.
Yeah, and he also had a touchdown pass against Southwest on a little flea flicker, which was called back, so he can still chuck it if he's got to. So congrats to him and all the sophomores as we head through the 2011 season. Speaking of more kudos, we're going to take a look at our top 10 poll this week, and we moved up a spot to number 9. What's significant there is this is the 83rd straight week that Gulf Coast has been in the NJCAA top 10 poll. We have not been out of the poll since September 27th, 2005. I wasn't even working here. I believe Dantrell Savage was the running back. That was a month after Katrina. That's 6 years ago. So, Coach, that's how long we've been consistently good, and that's a huge testament to the program. When you see that, they say stats don't lie. Numbers like that don't lie either. It's beyond impressive.
Yeah, well, that's something that that we're proud of, the fact that we have been able to stay at a consistently high level over a number of years, and that's what we try to do is just, go to work every day and keep working and keep improving every day. It's the formula, is that if you'll be unselfish, do the little things right, and get better every day, you'll have a chance to be successful. And the young men that we've been fortunate enough to have in the program have really bought into that. We've had some great athletes. That's a testament to the type of players that we've been able to bring in and in their commitment to the program. So, it's really a testament to the players and their hard work and their commitment of keeping the tradition going. If you look around this room right here, it reminds me every time I step foot in here, you see the 48 championship, the 71 national championship, the 07, then all of the state championships and all of the sports. And, so that's something that we're proud of, to be able to stay at a high level for a long period of time. And the young men have really bought in and are working hard to keep the tradition going.
Yeah, and that tradition is going 83 straight weeks, including this week in the NJCAA poll, which is crazy. I was thinking about, 2005, the world was totally different then. We all remember back then. But one thing that has stayed consistent is the strong showing of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College football. Now, coming up after the break here on Bulldog Blitz, we're going to take a look at how our defense has gotten ready for this game. We'll do a new Chalk Talk segment. Coming into the break, we're going to take a look at our Athletic Hall of Fame and Bulldog Hall of Honor award winners. We celebrate those this weekend here on Centennial Homecoming. You're watching Bulldog Blitz here on WLOX. And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz. You see our soccer team's getting ready for the state tournament this weekend. Our golf team, Jared Smith, was the low medalist at the Fall Invitational down at Windance. So our other fall sports going on as well here at Gulf Coast. Now we're going to get out the grease board and have one of our Chalk Talk segments. This week we talked to defensive coordinator Steve Davis about just how much work goes into a game plan for a given game.
Hi guys, I'm Coach Steve Davis, the defensive coordinator here at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. I want to take a few moments and show you some of the reason for the madness of what we do and how we break down film and prepare for our opponents each week. If you notice here on this board, we have what we call our personnel board. We group offenses by the personnel grouping that's on the field. For example, 10 personnel is 1 back, 0 tight ends, which would mean there'd be 4 wide receivers on the field, and we list and gather and group the formations that are all used 10 personnel. The next grouping is 11 personnel. That's 1 back and 1 tight end, which would give us 3 wide receivers to defend. And those are the formations that they would get in 11 personnel. Next would be 20 personnel, 2 backs, 0 tight ends, which would give us 3 wide receivers. And then again, 21 personnel. If you notice the board, what we do each week is we break down film, we separate plays by formation and run or pass. We've got the percentage of, for example, in 10 personnel, we call this double twins. They've run the ball 15 times there, you see in red, and they've passed it 46 times. 75% passing in double twins. The next favorite formation is flanker twins, which is 11 personnel, 1 back, 1 tight end. They run the ball 38 times and passed it 29. And that's the percentage there, 57% run out of flanker twins. And we go through each group the same way, and we'd have the total number, as you see, of runs and passes each week out of each formation, and then an overall percentage passage or run. The formation board is just one part of what we do. Now we take the formations and we make our calls on given down and distance. As you notice here, the down and distance are in orange. This whole board is color coded. The down and distance, for example, P and 10 is in orange, 1st and 10, 2nd and less than 5, 2nd 6 or more, 3rd 5 or less, 3rd and 6 or more. All right? P and 10 is what we call possession in 10. That's the first play of a new series that an offense starts. What we've done here is we've found out how many runs and how many passes on P and 10, how many runs and passes in 10 personnel on P and 10 on this first possession down. We've listed the runs in red, the passes in blue. Then we sat down as a staff with our linebackers and our safeties, and we discussed if we knew they were going to run this given play, what would be the perfect call to stop it. So we make our list of defensive calls according to what we think they're going to do. Next we go to the 11 personnel package and what formations they run out of 11 personnel, the plays, the runs and passes, and the calls that would fit those and try to defend those plays. And then we go to 20 personnel. We try to put their favorite formation on top, and then from there, 20 personnel, 2 backs, no tight ends, the runs, the passes, and the calls that we feel like as a staff would stop those plays. 1st and 10, if an offense makes a first down in a given drive, that down is called 1st and 10. And again, we see the color-coded red for runs, blue for passes, and the calls that we would like to run in each one. We got this broken down and all down in distances, and if you look on 3rd down and 6 or more, they've thrown the ball 35 times and only run it 3 times. So we make a good bit of calls, and that's when we want to go to man coverage. Our man coverage stuff's in red, and our zone stuff to try to get some pressure and a pass rush. It's not perfect, but with the time put in, we feel like we have a good jump on what our opponents can do and have the best opportunity to stop them.
And, Coach, when you look at that board with all the information on there, everything's color-coded, they do a lot of that on defense. You guys do the same thing on offense, breaking down game plans. And it's not just one of those where you go out and go, I think we'll throw 30 times, maybe run it 25. There's a lot that goes into it, tendencies, percentages, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there is, and a lot of people look at play calling and they go, well, that's great. The calls are the plays are called on Monday and Tuesday and Sunday, when you're in there breaking it down. If they line up like this is what you're going to run. I mean, 3rd and 2 from the left hash, from the plus 40 to the plus 20, this is how they're going to line up. This is what we're going to call. And then you practice that stuff. And then if the safety's over, you've called it, they're going to be in one of 3 things. And so a lot of the play calling is done early in the week. Steve does a great job on defense. He's got a great staff over there with Stevan and Dorsett. All of those guys do a tremendous job. Steve has coordinated plans against Alabama, against Tennessee, against LSU. So, I know he is going to put together a great plan each and every week. I'm very blessed here to have I feel like the best staff in the country at any level. I wouldn't trade our coaches for any of them. They've all got, great experience. Steve has coordinated at the Division I level for a lot of years. Stevan played in the NFL for a lot of years. Dorsett played in the NFL. Coach Huff, played at Delta State, has coached at University of North Alabama, has coached at the U.S. Naval Academy. Great deal of experience. Then you go down to Coach Bennett's one of the top young coaches, I believe, in the country. Irvin Moore played here, was a great player here, was a great player down at Nicholls State, and brings a wealth of good things to the program. So, we're very blessed to have a tremendous coaching staff, and I can rest easy knowing that, Steve is as good as there is in the country on defense and always puts together a great plan.
Our coaching staff getting ready for this week's game against Coahoma, which we will take a look at when we come back right after this break. You're watching Bulldog Blitz here on WLOX. And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz. Coming out of that break, you got to see some of our Alumni Hall of Fame people, which will be recognized this weekend, and some of our other awards as we celebrate the Centennial Homecoming here at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. And everything culminates this weekend with the game against Coahoma. And all you got to know about them is we go up there last year and drop a game 34-31, and that's all you need to know. Not that they needed any motivation anyway, but for the freshmen from last year coming into this year, that's all they needed to know is, hey, they remember that, and that's one of those, plus you throw in homecoming, pretty easy sell.
It is. It's the most important game of the year because it's the next game. And then, I have never been a guy that likes to use revenge as a motivating factor or anything like that. I mean, you shouldn't need to because it's the next game, and that's what makes it the most important in the world. But the thoughts in, last year they cost us a chance at a national championship. I mean, the fact remains we wound up number 3 in the country. If you don't drop that one, we have a chance to play for the national championship. We were number 3 at the time. Number 1 and number 2 were playing that week. All we got to do is take care of business, and we move up. And and then we went on and won the state championship. That would have left us, with an opportunity to play for a national championship. Now, the thing that we don't use that as revenge but we do use that as a reminder that any team in this league can beat you on a given Thursday or Saturday. And so you've got to be ready to play.
And you look at Coahoma coming in this year. They have not won, but then you go deeper. You start looking at their stats and things like that, and on paper, they're not that bad. So it goes back to what you were talking about. Just we don't play games on paper, as they say.
You don't play. That's why you line up and you play. They beat, or Itawamba beat them 15-14. It was 30-27. Holmes was 15-14. They've had some really close games that can go, one direction or another, depending on a turnover here and there and an explosive here or there. So the key for us is to come out and play well, jump on and play one play at a time and play for 4 quarters, as it is every week.
And you can check out that game 5 o'clock Saturday. You can listen on 103.1 FM WOSM or watch online via streaming video video at mgccbulldogs.com. And, of course, for all your Bulldog sports information, www.mgccbulldogs.com or twitter.com/PerkSID. For head coach Steve Campbell, I'm Bill Snyder. Have a great Centennial Homecoming weekend. We thank Charlie Sullivan for letting us hang out here in the archives, and we thank you for watching here on Bulldog Blitz. Have a great night and a great weekend.